Christmas was so special for us. For me and Claudia. For all of us. But there's a lot of things that I feel guilty for. And so, for you to better understand Claudia's story and where her depression and anxiety came in is for you to hear a little bit of my story. So, I am single. I was for a very long time a single mother of 3 kids. It was Araceli was my oldest. Jorge Gordo was my middle child, my only son. And then there was my baby, Claudia. So, back in the 2000s, I did some dumb shit. I was desperate. I was alone and trying to make it. And I went to prison, federal prison, for conspiring to bring a child in from Mexico. He was about the same age as my son. And I didn't have him with me, and I felt bad. And I also needed the money. So I attempted to bring him over the Nogales border. Yeah. And I got caught. So, yeah. That happened. I did pre-trial. And then I was sentenced to 18 months in federal prison, and I got off with good time in 14 months. And then I had several years of probation, and anyone that has ever been on probation knows that sometimes you wish you could just go back to prison because they make it so hard for you. That way you could just finish your time. But I did the time. I did the crime. I had to do the time. Therefore, if they said jump, I said how high, how many times. You know, you get the drift. Well, at any rate, I got my kids ready, moved out of the house that we were in, and got them ready for me to leave. And I left, and I met some great people, some awesome mothers. And, you know, you learn really quick, out of sight, out of mind comes in like that. Don't even matter. And sometimes from family. Most of the time from family. And my little saying is always that most of the times family will screw you over most because they're family and they feel that you need to forgive them anyways. And for the longest time, I didn't have any forgiveness in my heart for anything. Because I just been wronged by so many people. But you know what? Everybody does. Everybody goes through something, just not everybody's sharing it. And so, long story short, to get a drift of what Claudia went through, in 2014, she came to me and told me that she was sexually abused. And it happened around the time that it happened at the time that I was gone doing prison time. And for my little girl to have not known what was going on with her was horrible. And the fact that she didn't want to tell me. And when she did tell me, she wanted to make sure that I knew that she didn't know what was going on. It wasn't into all these teenage shows that we would watch together because that's what we did. There she realized what had happened to her. So she was very confused and had a lot of different emotions. And I kid you not, you can look at some of her pictures in those times and you can just see it on her face. Now I see it. You know, I wish I would have known. A lot of parents say that I wish we would have known, like, seen something. And that's why I'm doing this. Because it was a hard struggle. When we moved here, I got her away from Arizona because she didn't want to be there anymore. She hated it. You know, she didn't tell me this until 2014. And then the counseling and the therapy and the prescriptions started. You know, she didn't have a father that wanted to have anything to do with her. So it was very hard. My other two kids had their dads. So I felt very guilty. So I spoiled the hell out of her. Because of that, I was going to make sure that she was going to have whatever she wanted if it was in my means. And then some. Because I felt so guilty. And I wanted to be the best. But I warned her about everything. Not knowing that I made her panic even more. We were both so similar to a T. Because we were both, in a sense, growing up. You know, we moved here, and for 2 years, Dan wasn't here because he was up working in Albuquerque. And man, we slept together, we ate together, we dreamed together, we cried together, we did everything together. And I know my other two kids were jealous at times and sometimes. And that's why, if they didn't know, I only did it because I felt so bad. And now that she's not here, it's just, you know, she had high depression, high anxiety. I mean, she'd wake up 2.5 hours to do her makeup because of all her insecurities. And then take it off and redo it again. You know, every morning was a talk. I gave up friendships because if they couldn't understand that I needed to devote my time to my daughter and made me feel guilty for not being with them or not having time for them, you know, I'm sorry. But that was my first priority and concern. And it's sad because I did lose some friendships. But it wasn't about them. It was about her. You know, Christmas time's here. And it's so hard. It's so hard. You know, this was the time where I love seeing her beautiful smile and her laugh and watching A Christmas Story over and over and over. You know, TBS made A Christmas Story for people like us. Singing Last Christmas from Wham. All of us. You know, there's a big, big part of our family missing. And there's a void. And we're all just trying to struggle to get through what's the new normal. You know? So to everybody out there, yeah, I'm opening my heart. I'm opening my heart because as a mother to someone who has committed suicide, you relive everything over replays in your mind of what you could have done, what you could have said, where you should have gone, anything. And you can't put yourself through that. You just have to be there and notice every single thing. If they want to talk to you, listen, make time. Don't cook, don't vacuum, don't clean the restroom, maybe don't go to work. Just listen. You have to listen. And I always tried to make sure I did. And when she started getting better, I leaned off a little bit because she would ask me to. Oh, sweet. So just thanks for listening. And, you know, if you have anything to say or you need support, look up your local suicide place, call the suicide hotlines, call me, text me. Just if I could do anything to help someone else, I'm going to for Claudia and others like her and myself, because I'm still struggling every day with my depression and anxiety, and boy is it kicking in. So thank you for listening, and enjoy your holidays and enjoy your family.